Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 22nd episode of Grit Talk Show. And before we go on, I'd like to announce that we have our portal launching this weekend actually. So if you're a coach, please do check it out, gritcoaches.com, and you can make your own profile, get your own personalized dashboard, have your clients leave your reviews, set up appointments, and explore all the functionalities for yourself. In the series Grit Talk Show, we cover the journey of different coaches. And today we have with us Amna Ali, joining us from Lahore, same as my city. And Amna has been working a lot as a life coach, NLP practitioner, and recently she did something really interesting. She got an Mbraining certification, which she will be telling us more about how she's been helping her clients get amazing results through that and what exactly Mbraining is. Hello, Amna. Welcome.
Hello, Khatija. I am so happy to be sitting here and finally having the chance to have a lovely chat with you. Yes, MBIT is my certification that I've recently got. MBIT is multiple brain integration techniques. And yes, I am an NLP master coach. I am a strategic psychotherapist and a clinical hypnotherapist as well. And MBIT has been a eye opener, a heart opener, and a gut opener. So I will explain these things that I've just said: heart and gut opening. It's basically the most amazing neuroscience catching up to the ancient wisdom, which tells us that we have three main brains, not just your head brain that we so logically think with all the time, and especially in this day and age. So we have a heart brain and we have a gut brain. And the most ancient brain is our gut brain. And when we are even conceived, the first brain that develops is your gut brain. And through that, after that, your heart brain develops, and then is your head brain. So, and all three of them have their functions, and they have their own jobs of doing the things that we already know medically, but they have a few more things that that they very much do for us, and for us to be in line with all three of them is a really beautiful thing.
Yes, so a lot of times, Amna, people who are anxious, they do get, digestive issues. I'm thinking as a lay person, what I'm understanding from the gut brain is that they get these, gastrointestinal issues. So is that something that the gut brain works on, like, calming those people? How would that work? When you're treating somebody, not treating somebody, well, coaching somebody who has the tendency to become really anxious.
See, if you are having a medical issue, then definitely you must go and see a doctor. But all these signs that we get from our body are they're actually screaming for our attention. So when we attend, what are we attending to is the real question. When we have a stomach cramp, or when hamari there's a lot of language around our gut, right? We would say that my gut, I have I have a knot in my gut, or that doesn't feel right deep down. So we have language associated with all these brains. And what language?
I'm sorry to cut you here. When you say that, it makes me feel that, the gut, you're referring to the instinct part. Is it related to intuition as well?
See, we can, because the gut brains core function as a brain modality would be your core identity, your self-preservation, your identity, and your motivation. They are all linked with your gut. So when we say a person is very gutsy, or what are we referring to? That person is very motivated and they will take up the courage. So your courage is held within your gut. It's deep rooted. It is linked with your preservation. And all these functions are linked with your gut. So when we are in tuned with our gut, when obviously every brain has its function, right? And Abraham Lincoln ki, there's a wonderful saying that a house divided against itself cannot stand. So when internally you are not aligned, and then there will be problem. So when all your brains are aligned and they work together and there is conversation, so to speak, and each and every brain is doing their distinct function, then your life will be much more full of wisdom, number one, and you will have that internal connect with your own self. And what we usually face in our lives is there's so much disconnect outside, but there's also disconnect within ourselves.
Absolutely.
And when we connect within ourselves, you can just imagine the quality of life that you will be able to achieve. And when I say the house divided, just imagine if the head of the family, like we say, the head of the family, everything intellectually we're talking, it's always with the head, right? So it's given, yes, there has to be due importance given to the head because it's the analytical part. But other than the head brain, your heart brain has a huge function of having all your emotions intact. Your values are coming from the heart.
Yes.
Your relationships are coming from the heart. So if someone decides to have a relationship with someone on any level and they're analyzing it constantly with their head, what do you think the results are going to be? Very fruitful, right? Because the head is doing a function that it's not required to do. So when there's no balance between and there's no coherency between your brains, then there will be problems, right?
Yes. So Amna, what I'm understanding here is, please correct me if I'm wrong, that it's basically the analytical, the emotional, and the instinctive parts of us. Are these the things that the three brains functioning around, the analytical part, the emotional? Is this how the division is?
Yes, it's more, yes, it's similar to what you've explained, but it's also your whole body has neurons and neurology present within. It starts from your tongue, right? And all through your throat and your stomach and everything, even your smell, all this is linked to your gut, right? So even when we want to keep our boundaries, and a lot of language will come very, I mean, it comes so naturally that I want to keep it very appropriate for our audience, so I'm not going to use anything, but we'll create boundaries using a gut language, like you know how would I explain this in a way that it's like when we say don't off, you don't piss me off, it is again very, very creating a boundary, right?
Yes.
So, and if you're saying, if you're expressing emotion, it will always, your hand will immediately come to your heart, because
Mm.
they will rise from your heart.
Yes.
Yeah, it's heartfelt, or it's very close to my heart. Anything that has emotions or feelings will come
Mm.
from the heart.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it is that
It's a mind-body
yes, it's a mind body connection.
connection. So, like, where is the feeling stemming from? Right? Where is the feeling stemming from?
Yes, yes.
Yes. When it comes to your coaches, how have you been using it? Are they aware that you're using this on them, or is it
Of
just
course.
subtly within your coaching
No, no,
style?
no. My style of coaching, even if I'm practicing anything, like whether it's
Mm,
hypnosis or any NLP
mm,
technique that I would use or incorporate
mm,
within my coaching, I believe that, one has to educate and m- make the client uh, aware of what you're going to do with them.
mm,
And I think
mm,
it's a rapport thing for me. I would always tell my clients what I'm going to be doing, so they are prepared to, and ready for whatever is going to come their way. So there is
mm,
a certain amount of education that happens during my sessions,
mm,
and I would tell them, yes, we're going to do this. And and then obviously educate them that we have these three brains and how they connect. And it's interesting that the founders of Mbraining and Mbit, Grant and Marvin, never used uh, three brains. They did not title
mm,
Mbraining as three brains, because they kept it open, because over the years, how we don't know how
mm,
many more brains will come, because there is evidence and there's a lot of neuro studies scientifically done
mm,
that they are intelligence in our whole body. So
mm,
it's very smart of them to use braining. and
mm,
uh, and for me and for a lot of people in the training, it was really such a big eye opener for all of us.
mm,
And we used to say that, M braining is like the missing bit. M is like
mm,
the missing bit in. I've
mm,
trained in a lot of modalities, but
mm,
I believe that this training has really, really opened my heart. And on a personal level, what I really found that I was
mm,
not really even accessing my heart through the processes that I was doing. It was all my head or my gut.
mm,
To have all three sit on the same table is so imperative, uh,
mm,
to be able to get the answers that you want, to find your inner wisdom. And it's just been amazing, as on a personal level, as well as, when I'm applying it with my clients.
mm,
It's really, really profound.
mm. Yes. Tell us more about the roots of Mbraining. I've forgotten the name of the founders. It
It's
was Marvin
Grant
and
Sulu, Grant Sulu and Marvin.
yes, Marvin and Grant Sulu. So, what were these psychotherapists like? What were they actually working around, and where do you think they found the roots? Because it's always good to know a little bit of context for the other people to understand.
Yes. So Marvin actually, I think, was more of a person who designed a lot of programs, and he is still doing a lot of trainings, corporate trainings, and developing programs. Grant Sulu sadly has passed away,
Mm,
uh, and he was, very big in the lines of NLP as well, and he
okay.
was a psychologist, and also he was a lot of other things, and he developed
Mhm,
Mbit. And luckily, um, I have had the opportunity to be trained by Reb Wheel, who has been directly trained by Grant.
Mm.
So,
Okay.
so it's a real privilege that I feel that Reb Wheel was able to come from France and give us this amazing training. And it's a real privilege, I believe,
Mm.
to be trained by her.
Hmm. So yes, they had their sort of background in psychology and in trainings, and that's where they got the data, obviously,
Yes.
and
So
researched and.
even though MBIT has its roots in NLP, but you don't even have to be an NLP practitioner to learn this or
Yes.
to apply it on yourself. I mean, I think uh, it has
Mhm.
been such a big eye opener for me that I think Mbraining is something that I practice every day with myself
Hmm.
and find that balance within me, because it's so important to find that inner balance. Um,
Yes.
and one thing that I would like to add here, Khadija, is that in this world that we're living in, and
Hmm.
it's becoming so analytical, and it's all about disconnect or head ke baad, so everything is disconnected, right? So
Hmm.
to be able, and then there's a lot of talk around emotional intelligence. So
Yes.
you can know everything about
Hmm.
emotional intelligence by reading books, or you know by perhaps knowing the theory about it. But what is
Hmm.
really connecting emotional
Hmm.
intelligence in our day-to-day life is
Hmm.
uh, your heart and your gut, right? It is
Yes.
when you are leading from your heart,
Hmm.
that is where uh, you know
So basically, it's like emotional intelligence put into action through MBA.
yes, you
The
could say,
application.
I don't want to
Yes.
phrase it in a wrong way, but for me, I think emotional intelligence can be evolved, and it can come out in a better way through
Through the
embed.
user. Hmm.
Yes, because even if you're a high corporate job, a person, you're working in a very competitive leadership role. Yes, you
Hmm.
need your statistics. Your head brain needs to be there to
Hmm.
do the math and do all the calculations, so to speak, and
Hmm.
make meaning out of things. But if you are a leader, you need to be relating with people. You need to be relating
Yes.
with your team, right? So
Hmm.
how is that relationship or relating to that team going to come in action? Only
Hmm.
when you are able to connect on a human level. And
Hmm.
first of all, connect with your own self.
Yes, and it's like, are some people more naturally disposed to using a certain kind of brain as opposed to maybe somebody uses the gut brain more. Does it work like that? And
Yes.
and through mbit and the techniques that you use, you
Mm.
help people to use them wherever needed at just the right level, right?
Yes, and yes, some people would use their gut brain more, or they would use their head brain more, and some people would just listen to their heart, and that anything you in excessive use is just going to create a
Of
problem, right?
course.
So there has to be a balance. There has to
Hmm.
be interconnection.
Hmm.
So it is imperative to find that balance for yourself. Because if
Yes.
something needs an analytical approach, or something where you
Hmm.
need to find meaning, or make some calculations, or make a perception about things,
Hmm.
that has
Hmm.
that's your head brain,
Hmm.
right, in action.
Yes.
So there has to be
Hmm.
coherency, and there has to
Yes.
be good communication between all of your
Hmm.
intelligence.
And there has to be balance.
Yes, balance. Balance is the key.
Yes. So actually, after talking to you, I'm all inspired to learn even more, and I think I'm going to get that book. The book is named the one by Grant Sulu and Marvin,
That's called Mbraining. But
Mbraining.
I would highly recommend you to go forth and do the next MBIT training whenever that's
Yes.
happening. I think it's going to happen in as for your coaching as well. It will help you with your coaching as well as um,
Mm.
person level, because
Yes.
really to find your inner, and we all have wisdom within us, and when we are
Hmm.
able to access that wisdom,
Hmm.
because आपने you must have heard with NLP there's a presupposition that we have all the resources within us, and really now I
Yes.
find more meaning in that, because you have all the answers within you. It's only when
Yes.
you are going to tap in yourself and your resources that,
Hmm.
you know, uh, God has his presence in us,
Hmm.
and uh, and he's created complete beings, and
Exactly.
the key is to tap in, and we have
Hmm.
all the resources within us.
Yes. So it's like broken it down more, that, this is how we can tap into the resource, and it gives us a bit of wisdom, as you said, to tap into the right brain at the right time.
Yes, you've got it.
So that was actually quite a learning curve. Thank you so much, Amna, for being here and for sharing all your knowledge with us. For all those people who want to follow Amna, she has a lovely Instagram, which is very pretty as well as very insightful. Instagram, and where else can they reach you, Amna? Please, you have a website as well. Do share them in the comments.
I would.
And those of you who were watching, please stay tuned for the next episode. And if you have any further questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment box. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Amna.
much.
Have a lovely week ahead.
Yes, you too. Thank you.
Bye bye.